Okay, friends. I know they're still settling in, and that's okay. Feel free to still settle in. But no worries, no worries. But let's go ahead and at least set the stage. For those of us who are set up, let's come into our upright posture. And for my friends who are settled in, don't rush and run and get yourself all anxious. Take your time. Start doing your yoga now. Breathe. And as you find yourself with that upright posture, when you get there, right, the buttocks bones rooting down. If not, every step you take, imagine you've got roots growing out of your feet. I always say that crown of the head goes up, but your eyebrows and forehead don't need to. Your jaw does not need to. Your shoulders do not need to. So you might check into any of those patterns, those tension holding patterns, and just try to soften that which you do not need. Take a few moments to notice your breath, whether you're sitting or moving around, right? Just come into that beautiful soft belly breath. Maybe even pause, whatever you're doing, take an inhale, and then continue. Again, bring the mentality of yoga with you, even when you're not on the mat. Isn't that the grand teaching? And we've been adding in that ujjayi breath, and that is, it sounds really simple. It's not necessarily simple, right? But the simplicity of it is you just slightly restrict a muscle in the throat, right? It's like a valve. Some people really respond to the teaching like you're sucking air through a straw at the back of the throat. Some people really respond to if you were fogging up a mirror, it's that muscle. Some people like to call it the oceanic breath. So again, I'm just going to give a few different ones, but I'm not teaching it fully today. And if it doesn't make sense, let it go. Really not a big deal. What that restriction does is it helps slow your breath down. There's a few other things too, but that's the main purpose today. As the breath slows down, hopefully, maybe, the mind slows down a little bit. Definitely the nervous system will probably start to respond and slow down as well. Let's bring our hands out to our side. You can open your eyes, but just think sun salutation arms. Turn those palms up, inhale those arms up. Your palms will eventually come together and come down through the midline with the exhale. We're going to do 3 of those. That was one of them. Inhale. Maybe the spine gets a little taller. Exhale. One more. We'll inhale, reach those arms out and up. This time, when your palms come together, stop when you land in front of your heart. Let's let the elbows be a little wide today, right? Meaning lift them up a little bit is another way to say that. And then gently push your palms together and see if you can't get a little broader across your collarbone, right? These are very small, minute things. Please do them slowly and subtly. Let your shoulder blades, the very bottom tip, gently move a little down and just a little forward to lift the collarbone, the sternum, right? And then inhale, keep that beautiful chest you just built. With your exhale, gently bow the chin in. I could talk about how that's a chin lock, right? And we have all that beautiful energy circulating through our torso. Let's take a second and notice if there is an intention we would like to set for the class. Maybe that's keeping that open heart, remembering to breathe. It can be really simple stuff, right? And of course, if you've got something complex you're working with your life, feel free. Being grateful. Right? Inhale, lifts the head. Exhale, bring the hands down. And with that next inhale, open your eyes. So if it's available to come into cross-legged, come on into cross-legged. Remember, if you have any sensitive knees or anything, feel free to extend a leg out. Let's put our right shin in front, whatever you had going on, if we can switch to that side, just because it's a way for me to track myself and everybody, right? Feel free to sit on height, obviously. You're going to bring your hands down onto the ground next to you if you can. If you can't reach, just reach that general direction. And as you push down, right, allow the spine to lengthen up with that, without the shoulders jamming up to the ears, by the way, which is my tendency. Some of us love to let our ribs go out forward. We forget to give a little bit, just the littlest bit of containment on the front side, right? And then from there, you're going to inhale, try to keep that as much as you can as you reach those arms back up to where we were moments ago. Interlace your hands and try to push those palms up to the sky best you can. Maybe that's a little in front of you because those shoulders are feeling tight today, right? And then you're going to push a little more through the index finger and thumb side because that's the harder side. I mean, if you're already there, you might not need to, but a lot of us will have the pinky edge up and not the thumb and index finger side. You're looking pretty even, Steven, Sonia. And breathe. Now, let your shoulders lift all the way up to your ears. And then let them soften down. Don't box them down, right? Inhale, shoulders up to ears. And soften them down. One more time, let those shoulders come up to the ears. Soften them down, and we're going into a twist. You're going to keep the height of the spine best you can. Left hand outside the right leg, right fingertips maybe on a block or the ground behind you. If you need a block, let me know, Roger. Get nice and tall, right? Find your belly muscles, but then you're going to use the arms and gently move yourself a little deeper into that twist, turning and looking over the right shoulder. And of course, as I say that, don't force the neck into anything, right? And just breathe into that. Maybe close the eyes and really pay attention to the vertebrae. The pelvis not moving really much at all, hopefully. Low back not really moving all that much. The twist really starts to happen in that thoracic spine, right? All the way up through the neck. Now keep your shoulders pretty stable, put, right? And turn your head and look over that left shoulder-ish. Again, it's just a rotation of the neck. Wherever you get to is just great. Go ahead and turn and look back over that right shoulder one more time. Turn and look over that left shoulder. And then de-revolve the rest of the torso. Bring everything straight out in front. With your hands somewhere by your knees or thighs, just take a couple of circles with the torso or the spine, right? Go ahead and go the other way. Hopefully waking up that low back, maybe the hips a little bit, and then come back to the center. One more thing, and then we'll switch the crossing of the legs. If it's unbearable, let me know. Go ahead and get really long, and then you're going to start to slowly fold forward. Now, I want you to imagine, if you will, hey, Rita, that I had a strap around your hip crease, and I was pulling that down and back, and you were lengthening forward away from that, and then soften and round in and breathe. Anyone not feeling the back side of their, say, low back or back of hips, etc.? Feel free to sway the shoulders, right center, left center a little bit if that opens up any tissues for you. And then we're going to walk today over to the left with this right shin in front. And we're going to reach that right arm forward, right? And this is a baby twist, this next piece, y'all. Don't get forceful. Left hand's going to come into what I call training wheel arm, right? Go the other way, Rena. Yeah. Oh, yep, I just noticed it. And then go ahead and push into the left fingertips and rotate a little bit towards the left thigh. And de-revolve, just come to that softer middle spot, right? And then push one more time into it and just notice how that changes the experience, or if it does at all. And then really gently come back to your center and come on up. Let's switch our shins out. And again, if you need to straighten a leg or put a block under a knee, right? All the things, do take care of yourself. And then from there, get nice and tall, fingertips next to the hips. Get really long. Again, push down a little bit. I'm not lifting my ass off the ground, right? But I am getting a little longer through my spine, right? And then you're going to lose a little, but try to keep as much as you can. Reach those arms back up. This time, you're going to grab your elbow points if it's available. If you're like, no, I'm not, grab your wrist. No big deal. And then from there, you're going to pull the elbow flesh. I use my fingertips and I pull my elbow flesh up, right? Let your shoulders lift as high as they can. That's not wrong or bad, right? And then soften them down just to wherever they naturally go without boxing them, right? Lift them up, 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 elevation, and then soften them down a little more towards neutral, a little depression maybe. And then from there, you're going to reach your arms back up. We're going to turn our torso to the left, bringing that right hand outside the left leg, left fingertips back. Might have said that wrong. Did I say that wrong? Get nice and tall, and then you're twisting towards that back left corner of the room, looking over your left shoulder-ish. And just be content there, right? Are you already ready to start turning the head and what's next and get rid of the to-do list? Get rid of that anticipation of what is next or expectation, right? Now, keeping the shoulders where they are-ish. Now turn that head, rotate the neck, maybe even close the eyes, and instead of worrying about what it looks like, right? Turn and look back over that left shoulder. Notice your neck. Does that feel a little more accessible on this side? Less so? Do you feel it more in your low back? Turn and look over that right shoulder and then de-revolve the torso forward and the head forward. And we got one more forward fold. Imagine I had a strap right around your hip crease. I was pulling you back and down simultaneously, and you're going to start to fold forward. Bring your hands out. That's fine, right? But a long spine to start, right? But then once you're at that edge with the pelvis, go ahead and soften round the spine and come into that forward fold. Again, stillness might be where it's at for you. Maybe you like that swaying, right center, left center. Maybe not. Do you, do you? And then let's walk over towards the right of center, sliding that left hand a little forward. So move your hands over to Raj. It's going to give you a little more stability. Yeah. And then from there, we're going to bring our right hand into that, not kickstand, what's it called? Training wheel arm. You're going to push a little into those right fingertips and turn the belly just a little towards that right thigh. It's not major, right? And then de-revolve just to where we started. And one more time, maybe push down. How does that change the experience in your pelvis, your low back, etc.? And then let your hands come forward into center and come on up. Let's get off of our buttocks, y'all. Let's come on to hands and knees just for a few moments. And I say come off our buttocks. Remember, sensitive knee friends, if you can't put weight in hands and knees, you might just sit for a little bit of cat-cow. I will be using a blanket. I like to favor my knees when I can. Move in and out of cat-cow when you get there. There's no rush to get there. We're all going to get here eventually. We'll all still get some cat-cows, right? Let your spine move in and out of flexion and extension. Just noticing any little nooks and crannies, tendernesses, right? Sensitivities. Maybe also notice that area, if there is one that feels just delightful and healthy and well in every move we're doing, right? Come back to center or any move for that matter. Maybe wag your tail to the right and look over the right shoulder. You'll come back to center and then do that to the left. Take your time. And I call this wag the tail, right? And you're just trying to get your spine to move in and out of lateral extension to the right and the left. And now we've done all 6 motions of the spine. Woohoo! It's going to be a good day, everybody. Go ahead and come back to neutral. Curl your toes under. Now listen to this next one. You're going to push your toes down without lifting your knees. I repeat, do not lift your knees. But with your toes curled under, push your toes down into the ground and see if you can't feel how the very pit of the abdomen, deep in and quite low, pulls up to the back rim of the pelvis, right? So try to keep that action. Now you can keep your toes curled under or you can uncurl them, whichever one feels the best to you. We're going to do bird dog, right? What does that mean? The right arm and the left leg are going to try to lift up without the belly dropping down. And then we're going to try to bring that down simultaneously, hand and leg in unison. Inhale, left arm and right leg. Again, push down to the top of the left toes or the toes themselves, whichever formation you're doing. Slowly exhale that back down. So it's almost like you're swimming. Do 2 more full sets of that if that makes sense in your body. Try not to let your belly drop down to the earth. Remember, you can just do one limb and not both. That would be all right. But try to find the breath and try to find the synchronization if you can. That will control it takes to lift everything at the same time, but also to lower, right? And the next time you've done the left arm and right leg, that should make a complete cycle, I think, because I think we all started on right arm, left leg. Come to child's pose. Feel free to do knees wide version or not. Let the hips soften to the heels. And of course, if that's not available in your knee or hip joint, remember you can always put a blanket or a bolster behind your thighs, right? Now stretch your arms out in front of you till the arms are straight and the palms press down about shoulder distance, maybe wider if your shoulders feel tight today. And we're going to go where we always go first. We're going to walk our hands over to the right, right? And then focus on that left side body. Push your left hand forward and down, the left hip moving back and down. And if it helps you to imagine that I had a strap around your crease of the pelvis and I was pulling it back and down, imagine that, right? Hey, left side body, how you doing? And then come back to center. Take your time. You're not in a rush. You're going to move over towards the right side, right? And so this is side child's pose. You're going to push forward and down with both hands, but particularly the right. And again, imagine me with a strap, pulling both of your hips down and back and keeping that right hip anchored. Breathe into the right side body. Come back to center. Now we're going to add a twist. It is not a big twist. I repeat, it is not a big twist. Start by walking over to the right again. We've already done this. You remember that kickstand arm? Your right hand is going to come out into kickstand. And then you're going to push into the right fingertips and see if you can turn your belly ever so slightly towards that right thigh as you sink the left hip down, or maybe even sway the hips a little more to the left. So baby twist. Come back to center. Take your time. Really take your time with these transitions, y'all. Walk over to the left. And so you could just stay in side child's pose. There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe Parshva, right? Where we come, Parivrita, I mean, where you push your training wheel arm, the left hand, right? And push into those left fingertips, turning the belly a little towards the right thigh. Don't try to force that. And breathe. Maybe the hips sway a little to the right if that gets you a little something, something in that right outer hip area. Come back to center nice and slow. And we're going to lift up in a downward facing dog, not for too long. We've been working the arms. Remember, if downward dog doesn't feel available to you today, please do some variation. Feel free to pedal, to sway, any of those bits and pieces that are going to just kind of wiggle your wiggles out, open up the nooks and crannies, right? However you want to think about it. And breathe. Push more in those finger pads, a couple of my friends, so you're not in your wrists so much. Yep, 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 yep. Come on down, child's pose. Any version that feels soft and like you're not working your arms and you're not in pain, right? Breathing. If there's a particular part of your back body, especially the torso, I mean by that, that's feeling tight or tender or something, boy, I would just bring that inhale and your awareness right to that area. That's what I would do. Sounded very Wisconsin. Go ahead and come up into that downward dog one more time. And again, if that's not right for you, do another version. We'll all meet up in a second. Now this time with your downward dog, bend your knees. Imagine my hands are me putting a strap at that crease. That was last week's work. That's why I keep bringing it up, right? Move those thighs up and back. Get that longest spine ever, and then slowly maybe reach the outermost back of the heels down a little bit. Not so much your spine gets lost. Let's get out of here. Walk your hands back to your feet. You'll end up at the back of your mat or something like that anyway. Let's walk our feet about as wide as our mat and turn our toesies out a little bit.
Let's bend the knees so much it's like we're laying our ribs on our thighs, almost like a child's pose. Let's grab our elbow points if that's available, and then soften. And if you need a little wiggling to let go of some muscles, otherwise come to stillness right away. But try to come to stillness at some point and let that 13-pound bowling ball of a head drape, right? See if you can't get some space between the vertebrae of the neck. Take another 2 breaths. Another thing I love about this posture is when we're grabbing our elbow points, I'll point it out in a second, but isn't that what we tried to do earlier with our arms overhead? But feel how soft your upper traps can be here, right? Hands on the shins, reach the chest forward, come halfway up. You can leave your feet wide, that's fine. Exhale, soften in. Now, find your pelvic floor and all your business. Hands on the hips, the weight in the heels. Heels push down, but the pelvic floor pulls up to come on up, 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 up. Walk the feet back in. We're all doing the adjusting. Let's come on up to the top of our mat. Let's have blocks on standby. For the first twist, I personally am going to bring my knee down, so I'm going to leave my blanket there. If you're not sure, just have it off to the side, and then you can pull it in if you want it, right? Standing up at the top of the mat, we're going to be doing some twists throughout the class today, getting us ready for all the food that we're going to eat that's not easy to digest tomorrow. Except for me. I'm not going to any Thanksgivings. I love it. Reach the arms out and up. Inhale. Don't feel sorry for me. That's by choice. Exhale. Go ahead and bend the knees and fold in. Hands on shins. Longest spine ever. Remember that bird bath upper back from about a month ago? Exhale. Soften in. Your hands can be on your hips, otherwise reach them out, use them as weights, but still push the heels down and pull the pelvic floor up. That doesn't change, right? And let's bring our arms out and down, and we'll go right into it again. We'll add on a little outer hip stretch. Inhale, arms out and up. Maybe look up, maybe not. Exhale, folding in, maybe bend the knees, I don't know. Hands on the shins and come about halfway up. Here's the little rendition. So you're going to bring your right hand to your outer left ankle or calf or whatever you can get a hold of. Left hand can be on the ground or above your knee, wherever it's comfortable. I want you to bend the right elbow and pull the right elbow to the right. So there's a baby twist of the torso towards the left thigh, right? And then start to push your left outer heel down, straighten that left leg a little bit. And I bet you that outer left thigh and hips say, oh, good morning. Something, maybe it's a different voice in your head. Then the knee, both knees are bent now. I'm going to bring my left hand outside of my right ankle or shin. Right hand just wherever it's comfortable, right? And then go ahead and I'm going to bend my left elbow, pulling my left elbow a little to the left in order to turn my torso ever so slightly to the right. And then I'm going to push my outer right heel down and straighten that leg until that outer right hip or thigh says, good morning, right? Check in with your neck. Let your neck be softer if you're like me and it's crazy tense, right? Go ahead and bend the knee, de-revolve. We're coming up halfway. Inhale. Exhale, fold. And inhale, push those heels down and come all the way up. Oh. Exhale, arms on down.
I was going to tell you, Crystal Joy, you probably have no idea how often your voice.
I like it. Your muscles have my voice. I always wanted to make, I don't know how to do it, and I don't know an animator who would not charge me a ton of money, but it's like I want to make little videos with the muscles and like I get to voice the muscles. Wouldn't it be awesome? Push those heels down. Yeah, we'll see. I'm not going to. And then I would be putting so much time and effort into it, and that would be no fun anymore. Let's go back into yoga. Inhale, reach those arms out and up. I sidetracked us. Exhale, folding in. Inhale, hands on the shins, longest spine ever. Grab those blocks or hands on ground, but you know I'll always advocate for blocks. Drop your buttocks. So we've been working this. Sarah, this might be new to you. We're going to do a little, I call it a warrior 3 light hover. So the right knee stays bent.
right? And then you're going to reach that left heel into the air behind you like we do in bird dog. Push the heel into an imaginary wall, toes turn down, and then you're going to lay back until the left foot comes down to the ground. So then you're in high lunge legs, exactly. And then I'm going to bring my knee down. You can leave yours lifted if that's better for your knee for whatever reason, right? We're going to move our hips a little forward and lengthen our chest forward, right? If it's available, we're going to inhale and reach those arms up, coming into either modified crescent, or the leg can be lifted with a knee bent, right? Your choice. Now from there, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put our right thumb in our hip crease, right? It's almost like the training wheel arm. I'm pointing that out because we're going to veer over to the right thigh. You're going to go ahead and you're going to pull that right hip in and back, and you're going to steer your belly towards the right thigh and try to bring the left elbow to the outside. Now, if you're like, holy shit, bring your left hand to your left block, and that's a beautiful place to live. Maybe palms come together. Maybe you push into the palms and the chest broadens. And you remember last week's work of the outer hip stability? Push your leg and your arm together. And as they push into each other, isometric action, the outer hip solidifies, right? Take a breath. You're almost there. We're almost there. This is one of the hardest things we're going to do today. Bring your hands down. Step back to downward facing dog. Be willing to do that modification if your body's like, holy moly, right? And breathe. Take a breath. We're going to walk our hands back to our feet. Put our hands on our shins and lengthen the spine and try to firm that bird bath upper back between our shoulder blades. Exhale, fold. That just means long ass spine, right? Inhale. Arms can come out or hands on hips, but please, outer heels down, pelvic floor lifting. And bring those arms down by the side. It's a big twist, right?
Yes.
No joke, huh? Rita, come on forward. So same entrance in, and then we'll twist on the other side. And again, this is one of the biggest things we're going to do today, right? Well, in class, I don't know what else you have planned today. I always say that, and then I'm like, I don't know what anyone's doing today. Inhale, reach those arms out and up. Exhale, folding in. Inhale, long spine. Grab those blocks, drop your butts a little bit more, knees straight forward, right? Longest chest, all the stuff turned on. Now you're going to keep that left hip in and back as you try to reach that right leg up behind you. Doesn't have to be the height of the hip, but activate it. Push the heel into an imaginary wall so your chest gets a little further forward, right? And then drop back or just lean back until the right toes make contact. You can leave your right leg lifted. I'm going to bring my right knee down, right? Move your hips forward. And then we're going to come into a crescent. Inhale those arms up and out. Again, that can be with the back knee lifted and bent a little bit. That's okay. And then we're going to put our left hand on the thigh, or even better, if you can do thumb and hip crease, you can take that, right? On the other hip, the left hip. And you're going to hold that left hip in and back and turn the belly. So it's a lot like that training wheel arm we've been working, right? And you're going to bring that right hand arm outside if you can. If not, right hand on the block, not a big deal. Hands together in prayer. Push palms together to get longer in the spine, broad collarbone, right? And now get the pelvis more stable. Push your left arm, right arm, and your left leg together until you feel your outer hip kick in. And you might find a little more twist once your pelvis is stable. Don't force it. Take a breath. You're almost there. You're almost there. Woo! Turn and look down. Bring those hands down. We got one more downward dog here, if and you want it. Take your time getting there and transitioning into it. Take a child's pose if you're like, no way, man. Downward dog just sounds like more than my body would like right now. Breathe wherever you are, love bugs. Love the body you have. Let's go ahead and we're going to move that blanket. So for some of us, we're going to walk our hands back if we need to get that blanket out of the way. If your blanket's already out of the way, you can just walk forward into downward dog. We'll all meet in downward dog to get to our bellies. So we're going to do a little bit of belly work. I should have warned you, Anne. Yeah, you might want to just unfold yours more. Inhale forward to the top of a push-up and bring the knees down immediately. But the knees are behind the hips, so it's a half top of a push-up. Now your toes are naturally curled under. You remember that exercise we did earlier? Don't lift your knees, but I want you to push your toes down so your belly pit picks up. God, that was beautiful, Sonia. I saw it in your body. Yep, I love it, Jennifer. Take another breath. Now you're going to bend your elbows straight back. If you need to come onto forearms, you take care of your body, right? And hopefully we end up on our bellies. That sounded so exciting, didn't it? Our bellies. And uncurl your toes and get nice and long at the front of the hips. And then inhale up, low cobra. And exhale, soften down. We got 3 of those with an add-on on the third one. Inhale, right? Feet down, thighs lift, tailbone down, belly lift. You remember the drill, right? Exhale down. This time, when you come up, stay up. Now walk your hands out a little wider so they're, training wheel arms. I'm into it today. You get it? Now, if it feels okay in your upper body, take your time with it. Keep the low belly pulled up like the Dickens. You're going to let your right shoulder come down towards the midline and look under left armpit-ish. Doesn't have to be an exact science. And then inhale, come back up to center. It's low cobra with my arms out a little, right? I'm going to drop that left elbow towards the center of the mat and look under my right armpit-ish. And come back up. First time is like, what is she asking me to do? Now do it again. Now that you've kind of found it, assuming that feels all right in that upper back of yours, right? I love this one for my upper back and my neck, but you might not. Come back to center. And speaking of neck, let's get a passive neck stretch. Let's bring our arms down by our side, turning our head. I'm going to be specific with this. So your right ear comes down to the ground. So I'm turning my head to the left. And I'm going to be specific with it because this next one is like 20 million directions. I apologize. The first time you're going to be like, what is she talking about? And then my hope is that we'll all be on together to do it 2 more times, something like that. So it's not unlike low cobra. It's just we're going to move the arms in a formation and come to center and then turn the head the other way. So I'll talk it through the first time super, super articulately, or try to. The feet down, the thighs lift, tailbone down, belly lifts. That's your formation always, right? When you inhale, you're going to lift up in a low cobra, leaving that left arm where it is, but the right arm's going to come forward like you're doing a salute. It doesn't have to be exact. And then as you reach the right arm back with the palm turned up, you're going to turn your head to the right, the same arm that was just moving, and soften for a second. And then push the feet down and tailbone down, right? Lift up, inhale, come up a little bit, low cobra upper body. My left arm is now saluting. And as my left arm moves back and down to that place it just was, I turn my head to the left. Yeah, it kind of makes sense now. So let's try to find it. I'll keep talking. And inhaling up in a low cobra, my head turns to neutral. My right hand comes up to salute. I exhale, my right arm goes down. I turn my head left and I soften for a moment. If anyone needs a modification, you got to let me know. I inhale up. Did I goof up? I goofed up the turn of the head, didn't I? Well, no, I don't know that it matters a whole lot. Salute with the left arm. I apologize. And then you're going to go ahead, and as that left arm comes down, turn the head to the left, and now I'm back on track. I apologize, friends. I think it's good either way. Go ahead and come up into low cobra. That right arm's going to come into salute. And it turns to the right to follow the right arm. This time I got it. Inhale up. The left arm comes into salute. And then my head is going to gently turn to the left as I bring that arm back and down. Now soften everything. Palms are turned up. Soften the shoulders down, right? Assuming this is okay with your neck, tone the belly to lift the head and turn the head the opposite way and soften back down. So I'm turning my head to the right, my left ear facing the ground-ish. Not exact on that. Soften. Bring your hands next to your ribs like you would for low cobra, head in neutral. We're going to come back to child's pose. Be wise using the belly. Come to forearms if you need to. All the modifications are on the table, right? But use the pelvic floor and the low belly as you straighten the arms. Come back to child's pose. I'm going to invite you to open your knees wide unless there's a different child's pose that would feel better to you currently. Breathe into that back body. For me, my low back is kind of sensitive today, so that's where I'm going to bring my awareness. Where is your sensitivity? Walk your hands back just to bring your upper body up. We're going to come on to our buttocks, friends. So bring your legs together for safe transition and swivel around. Your feet are going to be out in front of you about hip distance. If that makes you want to use a block, just because it's brilliant at helping you find that neutrality, please feel free to put it in. Right? So if the twist in this position doesn't feel right for you, you're just going to come up and down. But otherwise, what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to pull the belly and come back. Just watch for a moment, right? And then we're going to imagine that we have a weight in our hand or palms together, fists together. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to turn with that imaginary dumbbell as if our right elbow could come down to the ground. It's not going to get anywhere near the ground. And then you're going to come back to center. And then you're going to let that left elbow come down towards the ground, holding an imaginary dumbbell, and come back and come up. We'll go back, right, center, left, center, up, back. We're going to try and do this 4 times. Don't go so far back if you're like, holy shit, right? So really push through the ball mounds of the toes. Let's bring our fists together. Or if you want to imagine you're holding a dumbbell and you'd rather have a different hand grasp, awesome, right? Go ahead and pull that belly back. Find the pelvic floor like I was putting an ice cube, or you were putting an ice cube. That's probably improper for me to say, but an ice cube on your pelvic floor usually turns it on, right? And then you're going to turn to the right a little bit, not a very big twist. You're going to come back to center, and you're going to turn to the left, come back to center, and come up. And exhale back. Inhale right. Exhale center. Inhale left. Exhale center. Inhale up. Exhale, that's 2. We're doing 4 total if we can. Right. Exhale center. Inhale left. Exhale center and come all the way up. We got 1 more. You're almost there. I swear, don't go back so far if you're starting to get pooped out. Exhale right. It's okay. Inhale center. Exhale left. Oh, I love you so much. Inhale center. Come all the way up. Get rid of that block. Go ahead and let your legs come out in front of you. Lean back. And chances are great you got really grippy in the front of the hips, right? The psoas were like, oh. They were in fight, flight, or freeze. No big deal. Let your feet go wishy-washy and try to let go your psoas. That's not all of us, but that's most of us in this group, including my online friend. Go ahead and let those legs swivel around behind you. We have last downward dog of class, if that sounds all right with your body. Otherwise, if you'd prefer child's pose or something, please feel free to take it. With the knees a little bent, imagine me with my hands on your thighs or a rope pulling you up and back. Maybe those heels reach down a little bit. Walk your hands back to your feet. You'll end up at the back of the mat. Hands on shins, chest forward. Exhale, fold. And inhale, come all the way up. And go ahead and bring those arms on down. We have 1 more piece of heat today, right? It's been getting kind of cold and gloomy, so I'm adding just a little bit of rigor in, hoping that you're not walking away depleted. I hope that you're walking away and you're like, feel like you've got some energy for whatever your day holds. But again, you have to decide if that's true in your body or not. Come on forward to the top of the mat. So we've done this one, haven't done it as much recently, but just so you're going to see it first, I'm demonstrating. You're not doing for a hot second. We'll put our hands on our hips. We'll step a foot back, right? You can always go to a wall if balance is an issue. You can bend that back knee a little bit so you find your pelvis. We'll probably all start with that, right? And then we're going to reach our arms up, and we're going to try to keep our pelvis stable. I'll give some cues for that. And once we're all queued up and stable, we're going to try to reach our right fingertips back and our left fingertips forward without our hips doing all kinds of funky stuff, right? So again, think of the twist happening from about your kidneys up. And we're going to try to hold it for a moment. To come out of it, I'll say de-revolve. You'll just reach the arms up, chest turns forward again, and we'll switch for second side. Doesn't that sound like fun? And if you're like, I don't know about that, let me give this option. You might just simply step back. You see how it's so similar in the shape? and how this trains us for all of the other bigger stuff. This is fine. You could work from here. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Last big piece. Bend your knee. My feet are on the ground, right? And we're going to bend the knees and step the left foot back. If you feel like you're on a tightrope, walk your right foot further to the right, first of all, right? And then bend that left knee a little bit and try to find that neutral pelvis from front to back. It's being pulled into an anterior tilt. I don't care who you are, right? Try to come into neutral. Now from there, you remember when we pushed our toes down and our pit of our belly turned on a little more? Try to find that. A little more weight in the right heel, and hopefully we're fairly stable in the pelvis, right? Now reach your arms up or don't, and go ahead and reach your right fingertips back and your left fingertips forward, trying to turn towards the right side of the classroom without your pelvis moving. Oh, that ain't easy, is it? Take one more breath, maybe looking over that right shoulder. Balance is an issue, stay forward with your head. De-revolve and the arms reach overhead as you do that. Bring the hands down, baby challenge. Pitch the body forward, turn on your core. Use that right outer hip that we worked so much the past couple of weeks and try to step the left foot forward. Whew. Halfway there. They're not looking at me with bright eyes, Sarah. They are. Everyone looks like they're working. Bend your knees and step that right foot back. Try to stay on the toes if you can. If you need to put it down, it's okay. Walk the foot to the left if you're on a tightrope, all this stuff, right? Now with that right knee a little bent, try to find your pelvis coming out of that anterior tilt, right? Try to find that pelvic floor. I've been using that example lately of if an ice cube came up and touched it, I bet it would pick up like an amoeba and be like, wow, right? Try to find your low belly. Maybe the right toes push down more and you find the pit. Left heel turned on for that outer left hip work. That was the last couple weeks. Inhale, arms up. Now keep the pelvis uber stable. Try to. Reach your left fingertips back, right fingertips forward. Get your body situated first. And if it is okay, maybe turning and looking back. If that's not okay for balance or anything else, just look forward. It's really not a big deal. Is that what you're going to be taking, on your to your grave? I don't think so. Go ahead and de-revolve the body. Reach the arms up overhead. Bring the hands onto the hips. Pitch a little forward. Left hip, left hip, left hip, hip, hip. Try to control that step forward as best you can. Woo! We did it. We're coming down and we're cooling down. Let's come down through wide-legged, which some people think is torturous. Come down another way if you need to, right? Otherwise, inhale up and then exhale. Go ahead and start to come on down. If you need to come to your butt, come to your butt. If you can take 2 breaths with your arms and legs pushing together and your chest reaching forward, take that. And then for some of us, we bring hands back and we sit down. Some of us, hands forward, butt lifts, shin drop, shin drop. Let's maybe sit on height today, maybe not. We're going to do a little twist from seated. I like seeing you on my screen. You'll have to come over at the end. It's Sarah. It's our Sarah. Rena says, is it our Sarah? So I've got a tall spine. I'm going to bring that right foot in. This is stage 1. This might be where you live, right? Stage 2 goes like this. I'm working my left leg a little bit. I'm going to slide my left heel over to the right, and then I'm going to step my right foot over the left side and stand in it. Stay in the other one if that feels better. Here we go. We're going to bring our left hand. I'm losing my right lefts a little bit. My left hand on my right leg. It's a lot of brain work right now for me. Bring the right fingertips back. Get tall first, right? Activate that left leg a little bit. Second. Third, belly, belly, belly. Fourth, use the arms to leverage a little further. Maybe looking over that right shoulder-ish. And then breathe into that. You need anything, Jennifer? You got it? Okay. Taking one more breath. Turn the body forward. So now for this next piece, it gets complex, right? In knees and joints. And this is a gentle class. I'm aware of that. Some of us might just grab the right ankle and let that leg lay over. If you're on height, be careful you're not locking your knee out. I'm happy to grab you a blanket to put under it, right? Some of us, we lean left, we bend that left leg, and we bring that left heel to the outer right hip-ish.
Some of us, this is like, holy shikeys. Y'all thought I was going to say shit, didn't you? Let that right hip try to reach down. It's an outer hip stretch, right? It was last week's work. We might stay right here. And by the way, if you're like, none of that, all of that sucks, Sukhasana, right? Try to get tall. Some of us, we don't need anything else. We're in, right? Some of us, we fold forward just a little bit or a lot. I don't know. I'm not in your body. I'm going to stay a little higher myself today because I am feeling a really good stretch from upright. So let that right hip, my main request, whatever you're doing, imagine that right thumb in the hip crease, holding, pushing the right hip down, right? And taking one more breath. We're almost out of here. Don't let your joints get pissed about this. And come on up my forward folders. And whatever pretzel you got going on, take your time and unwind your pretzel. Let your legs come out and let's lean back and do wiggle, 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 jiggle, jiggle, right? That's a big one, isn't it? Woo! So that's a continuation of last week's work, right? So we got straight legs. Stage 1 for the twist. I bring my left foot up and I might live here. Activate the right leg a little bit and it's going to stay active, right? I'm going to swing it left maybe and step my left foot over. That's stage 2. So one of those two for this first twist. My right hand comes onto my left thigh-ish, whatever, leg, knee, shin. Bring the left fingertips back and get tall, right? And then go ahead and start to use the belly first and then the arms come into play, right? Moving into that beautiful twist. Little bit of activity in that right leg goes a long way for stability of the pelvis. De-revolve the body, upper body. Maybe Sukhasana, left shin in front. Maybe I grab left ankle and I feed it over. This is option 2, right? Option 3, I lean to the right. I bend that bottom knee, trying to bring my heel, my right heel to my outer left hip, and my legs kind of lay on each other. I'm putting that in huge air quotes, right? But the idea is to get into the outer hip of the left side. So if you're not feeling that, Sukhasana would probably be a great way. Let that buttocks bone reach down like my thumb was in your hip crease. I think you might be better off with that leg out in front of you, Roger. Get really tall. You might be feeling plenty right here. You might do that forward fold. I could be wrong, but lay that leg over now. Let that heel come, just play with me. Let that leg straighten out. The bottom leg that you just had out. Try to lay this leg over it and then fold over. And now your pelvis is more stable, Roger. Does that make sense? And are you still feeling your hips? Yeah, you don't have to pull that heel back, my love. Yeah, and you finding it too, Rita? Yeah, no, the foot is not on the ground. It's not standing anymore. You've got to fold it in order to try to get that outer hip. Well, you don't gotta, I suppose, but I think you do. Inhale. Slowly come up my forward folders. Get your pretzel gently released. Take your time, maybe help the legs. These are some big things happening. Oh, ten cuidado, chica. And we're coming down onto our backs. You might want to put your socks on or your warmer clothes at this point, or not. Have a blanket in a fold that's something like this. You'll find out if you need a little less or a little more in a moment. And you might prefer to use the blocks, by the way. When you come on down to your back, we're going to do a twist, but here's what I would love. I would love for you to have a spacer in between your thighs. So you might fold that blanket so that it holds your legs about hip distance. Yeah? Some of my friends, you'll tee your arms out and you'll just let your legs go over to the right from here. But I'm going to encourage you to start or to try, hold the blanket in there. Hold the blanket. Go ahead and bring those legs, and I don't know what that was. And then let those legs move over to the right. Hopefully that right leg makes it to the ground. If it doesn't, maybe put a block underneath it so it can actually lay on something. And then hopefully that blanket is spacing out your legs so they stay hip distance. Head might turn to the left, maybe right hand out or left thigh, like all the things that we often have. Take about 2 more breaths if it's okay.
Now, when you come up, I want you to be aware that you're bearing weight, right? So don't hurt yourself. Take the blanket out if you need to, but if you want just a little bit of core, squeeze into the blanket, tone the belly, and then bring the legs up. Again, if you want your feet on the ground, take that, but I'm going to encourage you to bring the knees towards the chest to start, and then let the legs go over to the left, and try to get that outer left leg down. If it doesn't make it to the ground, that's okay. It doesn't mean you're bad or wrong or anything. Just maybe put a block underneath it.
Can you lift your shoulder and your hips?
That's okay if the shoulder, yeah, tee your arms out, Raj. And the shoulder can still totally lift even with the arms teed out. And again, if that leg doesn't make it all the way down, we support it on a block. So come down to that and then try to lower. Let's get you just a little higher on this side. Take one more breath wherever you're working from. And that way the leg muscles can hopefully soften, right? Because they got something to rest into. Maybe. And then again, be aware that you have something between your thighs. Please do not hurt yourself in transition. Either remove the blanket or use the core, push in the blanket and come up. Now do get rid of the blanket. And then last piece before Shavasana, I'm going to suggest is happy baby. And let it be whatever it wants to be. Stillness, rocking, being legs out, anything you want. But try to just gently rock across the back of that sacrum and low back area. And hopefully it feels like a wee bit of a massage. Oh, body. Oh my gosh. You did a decent amount of work already today. Thank you so much. These brilliant bodies. Even with all their aches and pains, man. Maybe hug those knees into the chest. Maybe even hug and squeeze so much the chin lifts up too. So I call it tension squeeze, right? Squeeze your fingers, your toes, your anus, your vagina, your shoulders, your belly, your toes. Squish, 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 squish. Now release, 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 release out. And if you need any props or anything, take the time to put them in for sure. Otherwise, hopefully, just like you were tensing every muscle you could think of from the crown of the head to the tip of the toes, now you get to release every muscle from the crown of the head to the tips of the toes. So that's the idea. Anyway, I'm going to turn off some of the lights here, y'all. And just let that body soften down into the floor, the props, whatever you got. And just remembering we have a support system around us at all given points in time if we bother to notice, right? Even I would say these heating systems and cooling systems we have in our house, pretty sweet little support systems. Mhm.
letting the sound of a bell, or maybe imagine the sound of a bell, bringing you back into this moment. In this moment. Take your time, friends. Slowly make your way up to an upright posture when you're ready. And while you're coming up, I'm just going to share. There's a gal, I really like her writing, Dr. Zelena. And she talks about grief and gratitude are not opposites, they are companions. And this is a quote from her. Grief mourns what was lost. Gratitude blesses what remains. Together, they make room for beauty inside the ache. So yeah, whatever. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Let's be grateful. I don't mean that flippantly, but let's practice gratitude every dang day, right? So that when grief does come, or the mess, or the chaos, or the crises, we can find it with a little more ease. That's what it gifts us, right? Hands together in front of the heart. We'll end with Om Shanti Shanti. Shanti, 3 of them. Feel free to join me or just listen and take in those vibrations. Inhale. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. May the merit of our practice go out and ripple out into the world and help all. Namaste.